Come with me to shoot some film at the 2024 Dodger Parade. The romance of baseball and film photography is deeply intertwined, as both embody a reference for tradition, simplicity, and the art of slowing down to capture fleeting moments. Every MLB game is rooted in American history, and the ritual that evokes a nostalgia for simpler times, where the pace of the game invites reflection and storytelling. Similarly, film photography demands patience, precision, and appreciation for the beauty of imperfection, qualities that contrast with today's instant digital culture. Together, they represent a shared pursuit of preserving memories and honoring what and who has come before them, capturing not only images, but a sense of timelessness. Because when 250,000 people show up to the same place, you're probably not going to get the shots you think you want to get. But if you bring in a film and look around, there's beauty and a story in every moment we shared together as a city that day. You may have already seen some TikToks and quick turnaround social media posts of the parade that took place on November 1st in downtown, but I really hope that this video can help demonstrate a resistance to the modern pressure of speed and perfection, choosing instead to celebrate the imperfections that make them enduring and evocative. I started out with a roll of Fuji 400 that I bought a few years ago, so I'm assuming this is the real deal stuff before the outsourcing to Kodak, but I don't really know. The metros were packed and the streets were even more crowded with excited Dodger fans. We want tacos! We want tacos! Very early on, I knew I needed to lead into the idea of documenting the day and the people around me instead of key moments or the team. Because after all, I wanted this to be my day at the parade and not the same coverage you're going to see on news and other socials. I wanted to find small and intimate moments that were happening in seconds. Even though I was surrounded by more drinking before 10 a.m. than my last trip to Vegas, everyone was so friendly and excited to be included. This first roll does have a little bit of that warm-up syndrome we talk about sometimes. There are a lot of decent shots on this roll, but I think because we were walking towards the event, there was a lot of confusion going on in these moments. They just feel a bit unconnected. But I'm loving the colors. There are some really strong magenta tones here, which does lead me to believe that this really was the true old Fuji stock that we don't see anymore. Before I knew it, the first roll was over, and I quickly switched to some Kodak Gold for some trusted and consistent contrast as the lighting raised to midday. This second roll is so much fun. The energy was starting to rise, and you could just feel something happening along with the lighting shifting towards something that was a little more glowy than when I first arrived. This reflection shot is just awesome. Honestly, in the moment, I was going for something different, but I saw out of the corner of my eye as I was framing up this guard walking through, so I just snapped. And yeah, I wish I got his feet, but there's something about this that's just so contrasty and interesting. Lots of stories told in the faces of everyone involved. And if you do have an interest in starting street photography, but you've always been a little nervous due to your shyness, I really suggest starting at parades. You will usually encounter the best and most outgoing versions of your subjects. Their defenses for the most part will be down, but it was important to me to always stay respectful. And for me personally, I just don't want to go too overboard with the posed photo op look, but real authentic moments captured on the negative. And doing that, sometimes you're gonna miss. You're not always gonna hit the shots you want, but also a nice headshot of Anthony Banda would go crazy with the ladies. By the time I was done with the gold, the team had rolled up in front of City Hall to give a shout out and thank you to the fans. These images of the team are a bit too far away in front of City Hall, but what I love is you can see the detail of people just scattered everywhere. A sea of blue, people on top of City Hall, the buses. I swapped out for some Cinestill 400D just as the confetti cannons began to fire all over us. And I have to be honest, using this halation happy film stock in the texture of the confetti reflecting light so many different ways was totally the move. I'm so proud of the images in this roll, like this one. or this one. And especially this one. There's just something happening here in the time span of maybe 10 minutes, maybe less, where everyone's energy is just morphed into something that became one organism. And I don't feel like these moments are too posed. This is genuinely how people were just turning towards each other. But before I left the event, I threw in some Color Plus because it's always the right choice in a colorful landscape like this. At times I wasn't sure if 50mm was the right choice for this day, but after getting my images back, I think it was well worth the challenge. It allowed for a separation that I wouldn't have been able to achieve in this sea of blue with wider lenses. I absolutely love this image. The way the light is cutting just through the buildings and only really illuminating these two women, it's so cool. I took an alternative to this photo, and as much as they are separated and more defined here, there's not as much context going on with the photo, so I feel like I don't like it as much even though it is a better framed photo. The first one just has something that still captures the energy. At the end of the fourth roll, I decided I need to desperately find some water and take the bus back to Christy's apartment across the bridge. But unfortunately, there was no water and no metro to be found. I hoofed it over 4 miles and somehow still had a smile on my face the entire time.
Pro tip, you need water to survive, so don't be like me and bring water. It's an absolute show.
Big shout out to my boy Philip for Devin scanning these images so quickly in such a fast turnaround, and I really appreciate you guys for tapping in. So yeah, I'm sorry this took so long, but you know, good things come to those that wait. Let's just hope it's not another 34 years till we get another parade.